Start by going back. 2 months ago, we reconstructed one of Britain's most appalling murders, perhaps the worst crime in Wales this century. Mandy Powers was 34, her daughters Emily and Kate were 8 and 10, her mother, Doris Dawson, was 80. The injuries they sustained were savage beyond comprehension. Since our last appeal, a host of new clues has emerged. So it's Saturday, the 26th of June. It was a memorable afternoon in Wales when the national rugby team beat South Africa for the first time in 90 years. But it was a terrible night in Kelvin Road in Clydach in Swansea. We start with Mandy's sister.
My sister, Mandy, she was a wonderful mother. She loved her girls. They were her life. And she was good to my mother. They were such a loving family that they wouldn't hurt anybody. Just seemed so odd. So unreal. Somebody would want to hurt them.
Initially, the house would have been smoke-filled, and therefore they're unable to see anything. But once the casualties are brought out into the open, the horror became a reality. Some of them have young families of their own, and to witness the deaths of 2 young, beautiful sisters must have indeed been a traumatic event for them. This is the most tragic and horrific experience that we have had to date.
How much do I owe you?
£2.50, thank you.
Mandy and the children got home late that night. Mandy had been babysitting for her cousin and a nearby estate. At midnight, the crucial new witness, the cab driver, was called to the 3 Compasses in Clydach.
Taxi for Mark!
He was about my height, maybe a little bit shorter, 5'6", 5'7", stocky, black hair, spiked, earring in each ear.
Who was this who took the taxi booked for Mark? Come forward and eliminate yourself.
Where to?
Kelvin Road, mate. Get the on in.
See the game?
They're all class, but don't they?
What a game, man. 29, 19, I couldn't
He
get
was very happy, cheerful at the time. Well, most people were that time of night because Wales won. You see, he had a few drinks, but he wasn't drunk. He sounded quite local.
Shoe polish is key, isn't it?
That's right,
June, can you mind the front a minute? I'm just going to call a cab.
Next, we're trying to trace everyone who was at or near the chip shop on the Mond in Clydach that Saturday night.
Can I have a taxi for Giovanni's? Yeah, as soon as you can. Okay, cheers, cheers.
And who was the girl in the white puffer jacket who used the phone at 1:15? She won't know it, but she's a very important witness. This is less than 100 yards from Mandy's house.
It's 1:30, mate.
No worries, bud.
Cheers, man.
Catch you, yeah?
Okay, take care.
Hello, 16. Have you still got a passenger?
Yeah, 16, free now, Lil, go ahead.
It's picking up a lady from Giovanni's chip shop on the Mond. Going to Penedrain.
Yeah, okay, got that, on my way.
But I don't know why she's stuck in my mind. I just remember seeing her sitting on the wall. She was dark, she was tan, she was a pretty woman. She had quite a lot of jewellery. You noticed the jewellery.
Excuse me, do you mind if I take this one? I'm in a real rush.
Sorry, love, I've been working all night. I'm off home. Is this taxi for me?
I don't know, I was just told to come and do a pickup at the chippy.
Penedrain.
Who was this woman? Again, she's crucial to the inquiry. A few minutes later, the cab got back to the Mond.
A taxi, love?
She was about 5'5", black wavy hair, quite conservatively dressed, nice smartly dressed, petite.
Where to?
Kelvin Road.
You see the rugby then? Huh? 29-19, 10 points on the South Africans.
I tried to have a conversation, she just totally blanked me. Strange, because normally get 1 or 2 words out of people, but nothing at all.
Not into rugby?
She was sitting there with her hands on her lap, with her head down, as if she was in a world of her own.
I still do here.
This is outside Mandy's house. This is the key person that needs to be identified. But there are still others who may be witnesses too. The couple walking down Gethlionan Road at about 2:30. And the man in a bomber jacket who was walking up towards Kelvin Road carrying something under his arm. Please come forward tonight. There's still a row to be eliminated. Were you arguing near Mandy's house that night?
It was obviously what woke me up. It was definitely a very big slanging match between two people. The female sounded more distressed than what the male did, but the male voice was more dominant in the argument.
And we must still trace the couple walking past the Upper Ford cottages at about 4:15 a.m. They're a few minutes' walk from Mandy's house, but before the fire was discovered.
When we got there, it was chaos, really. Firemen, ambulance men, and I just remember just getting out of the car and running up the steps to the house where they were all lying outside. And it was raining. And I was thinking, well, they all were getting wet.
Martin, plainly the woman dropped by the taxi is the person you have to eliminate above all. You've just got to find her. Now, the fact is, she hasn't gone to any of the neighbouring houses, so presumably she went into number 9. If so, she's going to be very frightened about coming forward. She's going to be into this up to her neck.
Well, she shouldn't be frightened. If she had no part to play in this murder, she should come forward and contact us. It's as simple as that, really. Now, I would ask, it took us 5 weeks to trace the taxi driver. It may take us some time to trace her, but we will trace her and we will speak to her. So please, if she is listening, or you know who she is, contact us immediately.
Now, presumably she hasn't come from very far afield. You didn't have her own car or anything. So for people in that general area, just give us the best description you've got of her.
Well, she's in her early 30s. She's quite tanned. In fact, the E-fit doesn't do her justice. She is described as being quite attractive. She's about a size 12. She was wearing black clothing that night and a lot of gold jewellery.
Now, talking of jewellery, you discovered at the scene of the murders, this is identical to it, a chain like this. It's gold. Tell us about it and its significance.
It's a solid gold chain. It's manufactured in 1989. It was bought from places like Argos, such like those sort of places. It's sold for just under £300 in 1989. Now, I've been interested to know who actually has got a necklace like that and has not had it since June of this year.
So this is a solid gold.
9
Men's
gold.
or females, do you know?
It's unisex. It can be worn by either male or female.
And somebody who hasn't had that since Saturday the 26th of June.
That's right.
OK, there's a £30,000 reward on this. Let me just say, incidentally, that after the last programme, that unlicensed taxi driver who was identified, well, we promised, the police promised, that there would be no prosecutions, and they've been as good as their word. He hasn't been charged with any offences. All they want to do is to clear up this terrible multiple murder. So whoever you are, whatever is holding you back, if anything at all, call in help. Think of the children, think of the grandmother, and think of what happened to Mandy. It's a free call here to the studio in London, 0500 600 600. That number's going to be on the screen through much of the evening. Or ring the local incident room on 01792 562 731. That's Swansea, 562 731.